What's up, everyone? This is Millennial Fortitude, and I'm doing live from Tijuana breakdown of my December 2021 income and expense report. I thought I'd do this series to really just show you how this millennial is going to try to buy his freedom. I just want you to know I am not some super entrepreneur who figured out how to make money while I sleep passively through the internet and I'm able to work from anywhere on the planet just with a laptop. No. That is not the case. I am a typical millennial wage slave. I go to the office, I put in the hours, and that's how my normal routine is. However, from time to time, I just take nice vacations like this to really good destinations, and I'll show you this room in a little bit, but first let me go ahead and review my December 2021 income and expense report. So I'll go ahead and show you on the screen right now the income and expense sort of worksheet I've devised here, and as you can see here, it is for December of 2021. And if you look at that, that is my gross pay. And let me just emphasize one thing. This is the end of the fiscal year 2021, and a lot of the jobs that I do, sometimes I get paid in contracts, but these contracts get delayed and they don't pay me until the last minute, so that's why that number is a little bit inflated. So in December of 2021, I got a total gross pay of about $104,935, and as I mentioned, that pay is delayed for the most part. That is not my typical salary. It's much less than that, and as you follow this series, you could probably see it is much less. Now, going into the after-tax income, just for me in my high cost of living area, I make sure to put aside a good amount in taxes, and I typically allocate 48% of my gross pay into taxes. So 48% of whatever I make, I put in a high yield savings account so it could accrue interest, and once my quarterly taxes are due, I go ahead and pay them. So if you factor that in, after tax, my income totals about $54,566.20. Now, in addition to the income I make just being a wage slave, putting in the hours, putting in the overtime, I do have, over the past 7 years, placed a good amount of my savings into some investments, some brokerage accounts, whether they be tax advantage or non-tax advantage accounts. But in total, they produced for the fourth quarter $12,973.68. Those are the Q4 dividends. And you could probably see on the screen now the receipts for my gross pay and the receipts for my dividends, if you look very carefully. Now, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of my money I put away for taxes, so it just sits in a high yield savings account. For the high yield savings account for December of 2021, it yielded me $124.02. Not that much compared to the other income, but it's something. And at the very least, it's stagnant money that's earning a little bit of interest, so the inflation is not so bad. So in total, I made a little over $13,000 in dividends and interest income. Now, with all this money I made, I make sure to go ahead and put a good amount of it into other investments. So I put $6,000 immediately into a non-tax advantaged brokerage account. Usually I just use the standard investment vehicles of index funds, and I didn't use tax advantage accounts because it's the end of the year and I've already filled up my tax advantage accounts, whether they be SEP IRAs, traditional IRAs, defined benefits plans. It's been exhausted, so I make sure to just push money in to the high yield, to the brokerage account, so it at least earns something. And I am not 100% YOLO into crypto, but I do dollar cost average into it, and usually I go ahead and put a little bit of money every month. So I put $500 into crypto this time around and bought some blue chip crypto coins. Now, a lot of this money, as I mentioned, I try to save it. Specifically, this time around, I put $24,000 into a high yield savings account. Why did I do that instead of just investing it right away? Well, coming up in March of 2022, I'm going to be finalizing my defined benefits plan, and that's, if you don't know, you should look into it. It's a very robust retirement plan where you could put a great amount of money, depending on your income and age, into a tax advantage account. So I need to have some money ready, so when my accountant and my actuary finalizes everything, I'll be able to put that money in right away and get the tax advantage once the taxes are completed. I was told by my attorney, no, my accountant and my actuary, realistically, I might be able to put about $130,000 to about $150,000 into tax advantage accounts. So I'm really hoping that works out. Now, there are some expenses. As a millennial, I don't own any property. It's just too expensive where I live. Each house is a minimum $1 million. I'm single. I try to be as mobile as possible. So right now, I'm sort of forced to just spend money on other stuff. So for the month of December 2021, I spent $23.50 on my rent, which is pretty standard. It's not cheap where I live, so I have to use that money to rent a place. Ideally, I would love to rent something cheaper, but it just doesn't work out. Now, for my particular business spending, I have to buy certain things to do my work, and in December, I spent $4,020. Those are end-of-year expenses, because at the end of the year, when you want to accumulate your write-offs, you sort of just spend as much money as you can to figure out optimize write-offs for things you would spend on anyway. And these business expenses are things for like continuing training, equipment, that sort of stuff. So I made some purchases, and not rent, not business, I spent $2,531.97. That's things like food, utilities, whatever, transportation, gas. That's how much I spent. So my total expenses for December 2021 is $8,901.97. Now, if you subtract my after-tax income, or you would subtract the expenses from my after-tax income, my net income works out to be, and you also include my investment income, my net income for December of 2021, after taxes are taken out, works out to be $58,761.93. So that's an 83% savings rate. Now, my conservative estimate of putting away 48% in taxes, it's usually a very conservative estimate. Realistically, I pay about 43 to 45% in taxes, so I get a good amount of that money I save, and I just invest it right away once I know that I'm in the clear. So you might think I'm just saving my money all the time and not enjoying anything. No, I would disagree. One of my best mentors out there, he really emphasized one thing, and that's living 50% in the present and 50% in the future. And when I say present, it's living in the moment. It's obvious. And the future is more realistically 1 to 2 decades in the future. You sort of think, and how am I doing that? Well, I make sure to spend and have enjoy some of the fruits of my labors in present day, as you can see now where I'm located. And I also make sure to invest, as I've outlined. I invest a good deal of the money. So in December 2021, some of the bigger expenses I had, I took a trip to Tijuana and San Diego to visit friends and family. I'm a big believer in geo arbitrage. In the past, I used to do vacations locally in the US, in my state, and I realized I did not get a bang for my buck. But then when I did traveling to Asia, Latin America, I realized my money went so far and the quality that I got for it was way significant. And so right now, I'd be hard pressed to do anything that's, or in terms of having a vacation, I'm hard pressed not to go overseas. Due to the current travel restrictions, Mexico is the easiest place for me to travel, so that's where I'll be going in the foreseeable future, and they are not dealing with the ridiculous rules and regulations just to board a flight that the US has. So that's where I spend my money. So as you can see there, I spent $1,486.59 on my vacation. I spent a few days in Tijuana and San Diego, and I also made some business travel. I had to travel for business, and I spent about $367.14. In addition to that, I purchased a car maintenance package for my car, which would cover a lot of significant expenses, and that's good for about 2 years, and I spent $359. So my big expenses for the month of December were totaled to $2,212.73. So that's my income and expense report for December. Trying to enjoy life and live in the moment. So it's currently January 15th of 2022, and I'm living in the moment. Let me give you a tour. This is the Quartz Hotel in Tijuana, and this is essentially a 4 to 5 star hotel. You can see there, amazing pool view, and this is an opulent little room. Very good lighting, very cool. And a place like this, if you go in any major US city, San Francisco, New York, easily you're paying approximately $300 to $400 a night. This place cost me $120 a night. That's all taxes. You can see here, very cool, very opulent. So it's high-end. Tour of the closet. Pretty awesome. There's the fridge and the safe. No vacation is complete without Ferrero Rocher and kombucha with some Gerolsteiner and some Pellegrino in the fridge. So I will be enjoying this later. Gonna get some amazing food later today. So that's it. I'm enjoying my little vacation here, living 50% in the present and 50% in the future. I'm really liking it. I hope to do more of these and show you the sort of destinations I end up going to as a wage slave who is trying to buy my freedom. Really, this channel will show you how I'm trying to buy my freedom. You can see here, this is my current net worth, and I'm really working towards becoming totally free. Now, I wanted to show some of the slides of my last trip in Tijuana, and as we can see here, that's me in Tijuana in December, and I was extremely happy because it was my vacation time. And this time around I was in a courtyard, and you could see here I was eating some quesabirria with some quesabirria tacos in the bottom. And I adhere to a pretty much ketogenic diet, but when I'm on vacation there are no rules, and I ate a bunch of pastries and some coffee, which I normally don't do. Also, when you geo arbitrage and you travel elsewhere, like I said, the dollar gets you far. And I ate in a high-end steakhouse with some filet, some nice fries there, a nice cut of steak, and some drinks for a really cheap price. Easily, I paid half of what I would pay in the US. And of course, you can't go without doing tours of the local markets, and this is a local market that I went to, and some sopes that I ate, and later on some more sweets with a bunch of candies and a bunch of tacos. And on the way back to San Diego, meeting up with some colleagues, the surf and turf burrito and some shrimp tacos with a horchata on the side. And that's me, extremely happy that I found this awesome life hack. So everyone, it's me, Millennial Fortitude, here doing my December 2021 income and expense report. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to outline my income and expenses, so hopefully one day I will buy my freedom and I will be living the good life permanently. Or not, I'll just keep taking vacations and enjoying the time off, and make sure to avoid getting used to the hedonic treadmill. All right, folks. See ya later.